Good morning, you guys. It's 7:30 in the morning and we're heading to school. Welcome back to my channel of Nature and Pets. As you can tell, we are not in my bedroom, and that's because it's day 2 of school. Woo! Day 2 consists of my labs. Today we have mammalogy, the study of mammals, and wildlife ethology, the study of animal behavior. So buckle up, stay tuned, and get ready to see some pretty neat specimens. Okay, and here we are entering the classroom. At this point, class has already been in session for a little over an hour, and I took a moment to come in and show you guys some of the neat skulls. Here we have a 3D printed bulldog skull. You can see it's got a huge underbite. Can you imagine how hard it would be to eat with that? This is a standard dog skull. Here, we have a dire wolf 3D printed skull. How cool is that? And here we have the same representation on a much larger mammal. What do you think that is? I'll give you a hint. It inhabits our waters. That's right, it's a whale. How neat. And here we have a representation of just how small mammals can get. This is a tiny, tiny little shrew. You could see how it's been preserved here in the formaldehyde. And comparative to the whale, it is definitely a lot smaller. Here we have the limbs of a whale. And as you can see, it had several fingers. And here we have various different skulls to show the sheer breadth of variety that you can find in mammals. This is a cat skeleton. I believe this is a possum skeleton. And here we have a bear. All of these specimens are for research purposes, so we are not to take them off of the table. We can only minorly handle, so I'm going to leave it at that. Alright, you guys, class number 1 all done. Now we're heading home for a 3-hour break, and then we'll be right back for class number 2. Now that we're back at school, let's go ahead and go into the wildlife game pens. As you can see, they're pretty empty, and that's for good reason. We only use our wildlife game pens for educational purposes, and all the animals that are present in the wildlife game pens are not capable of being released back into the wild for one reason or another. As you can see, we have a couple of deer here in this larger enclosure. Most of them were confiscated from people who had them illegally as pets. Now, the only animals that we do have for educational purposes that we breed ourselves are these doves. These doves, along with all the other animals, are here for the purpose of our wildlife program, providing live animals for wildlife students to study and incorporate into their projects as needed. Here we are studying the behavior of the doves. We are observing for about 15 minutes at a time and recording everything that we see, from foraging behaviors to roosting, pruning behaviors, and essentially anything that is the dove moving and interacting with its environment and the beings within the environment. These little guys don't do a whole lot, but I did get to see a lot of roosting, but they were neat. All right, and we're finally all set. That concludes day 1 of my labs. In wildlife mammalogy, we studied wildlife dentition as well as features of the mammalian skull. In wildlife ethology, we discussed different methods of studying behavior in wildlife as well as discussed what our project is going to be for this semester. Stay tuned to watch more in-depth videos on my mammalogy class and my wildlife ethology class. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Bye-bye.